How's it going, guys? I'm Len from TechShift, and tonight I want to talk about the Mac Mini. Now, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because recently, about 2 months ago, I uploaded a 13 versus 15-inch MacBook Pro video, and I've been getting a ton of questions as to which Mac you should buy. So my original plan was to make a video talking about all of the Macs, but I just thought that'd be too much in one video. So now I'm going to break it down. I might talk about the Mac Mini in one video, and in another video I'll talk about the MacBook Pro, so on and so on. If you guys want to see it, that is. If you guys don't want to see it at all, this is probably the only video I'm going to upload. So yeah, let's talk about the Mac Mini. I decided to talk about this one first because I honestly feel as though the Mac Mini is a very underappreciated and misunderstood machine. Now, why am I saying this? I don't think that personally. I love the Mac Mini. It's a great machine. I don't own one. I recently bought one for a set on my partner at TechShift for his as a birthday gift. So, you know, I know about the machine. I thought about it for a while if I should get it. It just wasn't for me personally. But I can see where it still fits in the market, in the Apple market. So, why is the machine sort of misunderstood? It's misunderstood because it's constantly put down. Mac Mini is constantly put down. And why is that? It's because for your average consumer, when you walk into the Apple Store or Best Buy, what do you see there? You see the MacBook Pro and you see the iMac. You know, you see the Mac Pros, of course, but the two main machines are the MacBook Pros and the iMacs, and those two machines are glorified beyond words can explain. So again, your typical consumer walks into the store, they see the MacBook Pro Retina display, wow, it looks amazing, this sleek design. And then you see the iMac, the 21-inch, very nice. And then you see the 27-inch massive display, everything's so nice, it's all in one, so on and so on. And then in the corner somewhere you see the Mac Mini, and then people just think to themselves, it looks like a DVD player that should have been phased out years ago. But again, why is that? It's because most people who buy Mac Minis, they don't always have the cutting edge hardware to go with it. You know, I can understand if you're buying a Mac Mini that you may be on a little budget. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm all for that because I'm broke too. But I'm saying a lot of people who do buy Mac Minis, they're sort of on a budget, so they don't have the money to buy all these fancy Apple Thunderbolt displays to match with it. They don't have the money to buy a super fancy, even Apple keyboard. They're pretty expensive if you ask me. So, you know, people who do own the Mac Mini, they have it with, you know, a decent monitor, decent keyboard, decent mouse. And again, when I say decent, it just doesn't match up with the Mac Mini, which there's nothing wrong with. But I'm just saying why I think that's sort of a misunderstood machine. So now you have this person with the Mac Mini with a keyboard that's probably $10 from Best Buy, with a mouse that's $15 from Best Buy as well, and some random display to go with it. Now another person walks into that building and they see this and like, oh, so this is what the Mac Mini is all about? And that sort of puts that other person off, and this is where I'm getting this is why I'm saying that the Mac Mini is sort of underappreciated, because people don't see its full potential. Now, on the flip side, if you do see the Mac Mini in its all glory, if you do connect it to a Thunderbolt display, you have a nice keyboard and mouse, then it looks like the total package, and then people understand what Apple is trying to do with the Mac Mini. So aside from aspects, aesthetics, let's talk about the machine in general. Who is it catered towards? Which is what this video should have been about from the beginning. So I'll talk about the machine itself. The Mac Mini, as I said earlier, if you're going to be buying the Mac Mini, you might be on a budget. And again, a lot of people may say, that's a cheap Mac, that's stupid. But you need to understand that Apple is still offering a machine that is semi-affordable, and I want to say semi-affordable because it's still a little bit pricey, but semi-affordable to everyone who's on a budget. So again, they sell you a machine. Apple's selling you this machine relatively cheap to other Macs, because they expect you to have a keyboard, mouse, and display. So if you're on a budget and you have a keyboard and you have display and a mouse, then you don't need the rest, you know. Again, you're on a budget, you just need a machine. You just want to run OS X Mavericks, whatever it is, you just want to run it. And if you have all the products, why can't you buy a cheaper machine? And again, that's where the Mac Mini comes in. You know, if you don't have any of that stuff and you do have a little bit more money, then go for the iMac, go for the MacBook Pro, go for the Mac Pro. But again, those who are on a budget, it's a great machine. But as far as the machine itself goes, power, again, this is why I say it's also misunderstood, because it's a very capable machine. Now, if we're just talking the base model, then yeah, you may arguably say that it's not very powerful. I'm looking at the specs now. It has a 2.5 gigahertz dual core i5, 4 gigs of memory, 500 gig hard drive, integrated graphics, the last generation integrated graphics, and OS X Mavericks. Looking at the specs, doesn't look like too much. For $600, I see why people are kind of put off. This is old technology, and a new Mac Mini may be released. But I honestly feel as though, I honestly hope that Apple doesn't phase out the Mac Mini, because it's still a great product. And again, getting back to the specs, while they don't look great on paper, the machine runs great. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you and say that you can edit 4K videos on it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that for a typical buyer, maybe an old generation, maybe someone in the 30s, 40s, or even teenagers who just want to edit simple clips from their iPhone, or even using DSLRs. If you're not going to do some crazy color correction, then you're going to be able to run a lot of applications on the Mac Mini just fine. And this is where the misconception comes, because everyone's like, oh, you can't get any pro work done. I think that's a misconception, because a lot of Apple applications work well with all of the Macs, and that includes Final Cut, that includes Logic Pro. And again, you won't be able to push those applications to, again, 4K, whatever, just crazy sounds and so on and so on. But for basic consumers, the machine will work just fine. You can cut and edit videos. You can web browse just fine. You can do the basic tasks just fine. And to be honest, that's what most people do. Most people log onto their social networks. Most people, if they do want to edit videos, they don't really do so much for the basic consumer. They do basic cuts. They do little YouTube videos like Len here on TechShift. Nothing special. But yeah, the Mac Mini, it's also, as of right now, I hope Apple keeps it this way, it's still upgradable. That means you can upgrade the memory. That means you can get a solid state hard drive. And if you have more money, you can get a quad core machine. So yeah, the only thing that you probably wouldn't be able to do so well on is game. I'm pretty sure you can do some light gaming, but with last generation's integrated graphics, then yeah, you probably might not need. You probably might need a different machine. But again, I think the Mac Mini is a great machine for what it is. It offers a more budget machine for those who can't afford the more expensive stuff, or it offers a machine that pretty much helps the user out, in which if they already have if they already have a monitor, keyboard, mouse, then the Mac Mini might be just right for them. So give it a shot. It might be the machine for you. Again, ask yourself, what are you going to be using it for? If you're going to be doing basic photo editing, basic video editing, web browsing, and you already have a monitor and you already have a keyboard, mouse, then why upgrade to an iMac? I'll talk about that in another video, but ask yourself, how much money do you really want to spend if you're going to be doing the basic stuff, Well, again, I think it's gotten to the point where a lot of Apple products sort of glorify what you need. Everyone thinks they need the best of the best to do anything. But no, the Mac Mini's fine. Now, I talked to Seth, again, my partner on TechShift, about the Mac Mini that I bought him. I bought him the base model, and he told me that the machine runs fine. Now, he said there's something that you should do is upgrade the RAM, because he noticed it when he's using Final Cut that it eats up RAM like crazy. But again, that's something you can easily upgrade to, even if you don't have the money right away. Buy the Mac Mini, upgrade the RAM later. So yeah, guys, this is just a little video of me talking about the Mac Mini, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I should be making another video, maybe the iMac next, maybe the MacBook Pro next. You guys have a nice one. See ya.